The first important lesson that MJ DeMarco made in this book is, get rich quick is often seen as a scammy thing. But actually, it's not get rich quick that's the problem. It is get rich easy. If someone is trying to sell you that it is easy to get rich, that is a scam and you should avoid it. But it is very possible to get rich quickly, and that is why MJ wrote this book, because it is something he wished he could have read when he was 20 years old and struggling. The author outlines 3 roadmaps leading to different destinations: the sidewalk to poverty, the slow lane to mediocrity, the fast lane to wealth. Let's look at each roadmap and see which one you are in now. The sidewalker. Wealth equals income plus debt. Sidewalkers peg their lifestyle in direct proportion to their income and supplement that lifestyle with extensive use of debt. A sidewalker's financial destination doesn't exist. The plan is to have no plan. Credit allows me to buy things now. Credit cards, consolidation loans, car payments, these supplement my income and help me enjoy life today. If I want it now, I am going to get it now. Sadly, the sidewalk is the road most traveled because it's the path of least resistance, but it naturally pulls you to poverty. The sidewalk offers no protection because you're naked and you can't absorb the hits. If you're hit by traffic, you're roadkill. Slow lane. Wealth equals primary income source job plus wealth accelerator market investments. How is money earned in a job? Intrinsic value. Intrinsic value is determined by the marketplace and is the price you can trade your time for money. If you're paid $10 per hour to flip burgers at the neighborhood grill, your intrinsic value is $10 per hour. Compound interest is derived from market investments, which is the universal concept that X dollars invested in today's stock market will be worth X millions decades later. Could you get rich in the slow lane? You get a great paying job, save money, live frugally, invest in the stock market, and repeat for 4 or 5 decades. But if you lose your job, you get sick, you get divorced, you have a child with special needs, or elderly parents who need care, or a global pandemic deems your job as non-essential. Life is a menagerie of crisis points, making the Slowland roadmap a risky bet that consumes your most precious asset: time. Have you sold your soul for a weekend? 5 days of work boondoggle exchanged for 2 days of unadulterated freedom. Saturday and Sunday are the payment for money through Friday. Friday evening symbolizes the emergence of that payment. Freedom for 2 days. The prostitution of Monday through Friday is why Thank God It's Friday exists. On Friday, people are paid freedom in the currency of Saturday and Sunday. There is another choice, the fast lane. Change yourself from a team consumer who wants a product, needs products, buys products, and of course seeks out the cheapest of those products to become a team producer. Instead of digging for gold, sell shovels. Instead of taking a class, offer a class. Instead of borrowing money, lend it. Instead of taking a job, hire for jobs. Instead of taking a mortgage, hold a mortgage. Wealth equals net profit plus asset value. Underneath this equation lies the true power of the fast lane and how to build wealth fast. Its variables are controllable and unlimited. If you can manipulate the variables inherent to your wealth equation, you can get wealthy. Those variables are net profit equals units sold times unit profit, and asset value equals net profit times industry multiple. Limitless variables equals high speed limit equals high potential income. You need to give birth to a business and offer value to the world. The rich are a minority, and you want to be in that minority. It starts with a producer mindset. You should build your real, living, fruit-bearing money tree. It is a flourishing printing press that makes money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it doesn't require your life for the trade. Outside of routine attention, this money tree grows, produces fruit, and gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. The 4 Fastlane business seedlings with high grades of great potential for passivity. Seedling 1, rental systems. It could come from various sources: real estate, industrial machinery, tools, party and event equipment, leases, royalty payments, and licensing fees from your invented products. Seedling 2, computer software systems. What sets the internet apart from real estate is it implicitly contains leverage. When you own a 3-bedroom home on Elm Street, it's accessible to a few. When you own a website, you're accessible to millions. Seedling 3. Content systems. You could be a newspaper mogul, magazine publisher, or successful author. Control the press. Distribute content. Information, like software, often has ease of replication. Writers can print 10 million copies of these books. However, they will never own 10 million pieces of real estate. In a few short years, J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter brand, went from being a 32-year-old divorced English teacher to a media mogul worth over $400 million. The single mom has sold over 30 million copies of her books in 35 languages. Seedling 4. Distribution systems. When inventing any product, the invention is always half the battle. Distribution is the other. The most fantastic product in the world goes unused if it isn't leveraged into the proper distribution system, either one that exists or one that you create. Amazon.com is one example of a distribution system that the author used. This book sells on Amazon and is available to millions. To illuminate your Fastlane road, you need 5 Fastlane Commandments, the Sense framework. The commandment of control. My forum leverages the Google advertising network, which pays revenue, for ad clicks that evolve from my forum. Google changed their policy and claimed the content violated their terms. My ads were terminated and the revenue stopped. Now imagine if my forum and its Google revenue were responsible for feeding my family. Imagine if I was earning $15,000 per month from these ads, and in one big swoop, poof, gone. When you control your business, you control everything in your business. Your organization, products, pricing, revenue model, and operational choices. If you can't control every aspect of your company, you're not driving. And if you can't drive, you set yourself up for sudden, unexpected crashes. The commandment of entry. The lower the barriers to entry, the more competitive the landscape becomes. The best warning flag is everyone. Everyone is a red flag that the commandment of entry has been violated. If everyone is bewitched by the same activity, it surely will fail. When the plumber comes over to fix the toilet and raves about his 3 cryptocurrency coins that have appreciated 50% in the last 3 months, it's time to get out and stay out. When your personal trainer raves about his meme stock portfolio that earned 60% in 2 months, it's time to get out. The commandment of need. Seriously, no one cares about your desires, your dreams, your passions, your whys, or your reasons for wanting to be rich. No one cares that you want to own a Ferrari and prove your parents wrong. No one cares. Yes, the world is a selfish place. So what do people care about? People care about what your business can do for them. How will it help them? Will it solve their problem? Make their life easier? Provide them with shelter? Save them money? Educate them? Make them feel something? The amount of money in your life is merely a reflection of the amount of value you have given to others. Successful businesses share one common trait: the satisfaction of consumer needs as reflected by sales in the marketplace. The commandment of time. The commandment of time requires that your business and income detach from your time. Can your business work for you while you aren't? To answer this question, start with a company that uses a money system seedling or introduce one. The commandment of scale. The law of affection states that the more lives you affect in scale, and or magnitude in an entity you control, the richer you will become. The shortened, sanitized version is simply affect millions and make millions. Within our Fastlane wealth equation, net profit equals units sold scale times unit profit magnitude. Units sold. If you sell 20 million pens and make 75 cents profit on each, you just earned $15 million. This is having an impact on scale with tiny magnitude. Conversely, magnitude has a great impact on a few, and within our Fastlane wealth equation is reflected in unit profit. Price always reflects magnitude. If you sell a product worth $50 million, you have access to magnitude. If you can combine both scale and magnitude, we won't be discussing millions but billions. Scale creates millionaires. Magnitude creates millionaires. Scale and magnitude create billionaires. Wealth is a process, not an event. For example, an athlete who scores a $100 million contract to play pro basketball is an event, not a process. You see and hear about the big contract, the spectacular get-rich event. but you typically ignore the process that preceded it. The process was the long, arduous road you didn't witness. The daily 4-hour practices, the midnight pickup basketball games, the torn ligaments, the surgery and rehabilitation, the rejection of being cut from the junior varsity team, all frame the journey that forms the process. It is such a hard process, so for each milestone met along the journey, reward yourself. Sell your first product? Celebrate. Go to dinner, buy a cigar, drink a beer. Or break $100,000 in net worth? Treat yourself to something nice. Go over $1 million. Take a nice vacation. Break $10 million. Buy a Lamborghini. That is all for this book. Subscribe for more videos.